Hi guys, my name is Jamie Wills-Taylor and welcome to Brief Histories. Today we're going back to the 15th century, the Tudor period, to meet the Dowager Queen of France and the younger sister of King Henry VIII. A political pawn who defied the word of her king to marry the man she loved, and the rebellious daughter of King Henry VII and Elizabeth York, Mary Tudor. Mary Tudor was born on the 18th of March, 1496. The third daughter of Henry VII, King of England, and his Queen Elizabeth of York, Mary was an English princess and the younger sister of King Henry VIII. As she grew, Mary became a beautiful lady and was widely considered to be one of the most beautiful women in Europe at the time. All accounts remark on her beauty, especially her clear complexion and long red gold hair, the Tudor trademark. Mary's parents had both passed by age 14, and she enjoyed an unprecedented freedom at her brother's court. She spent her late teens virtually unchaperoned, and her brother openly encouraged her to participate in every event held at court. She shared her brother's exuberance for spectacle, and was the star of his court. The two had a close bond, though there were many times the siblings disagreed. In 1597, Mary was betrothed to Carlos, the future Holy Roman Emperor. But after diplomatic delays and secret dealings between Spain, the Holy Roman Empire, and France, Henry VIII cancelled the betrothal in 1513. Mary was apparently pleased with this, as she had no desire to marry a boy 4 years younger than her. Unfortunately, Henry's choice for a replacement was 34 years older than she was. King Louis of France was an aging man described as feeble and pocky. Sick and on his deathbed, Louis was an unpleasing prospect for the young princess. However, the king was a widow with no heir, and Henry was only too willing to offer up his beautiful sister as a way of making a truce with the continental power. Mary was outraged and initially refused the match, but Henry gave her little choice. She must have known this would be her fate at some point, but still, Mary had fallen in love with her brother's friend, Charles Brandon. Charles was not a royal, and therefore ineligible, though single and equally attracted to Mary. She eventually agreed to do her duty as a princess and marry Louis, but she told Henry that when the marriage was over, she wanted to choose her next spouse. It was an extraordinary demand for any woman at the time, but Henry loved his sister and agreed to her terms. The next time she married would be for love. On the 9th of October 1514, at age 18, Mary married the 52-year-old King Louis. While in France, Mary enjoyed all the honours due to the Queen of France. However, 3 months later, Louis was dead, on New Year's Day no less. The King of France's death changed her world considerably. Now a Queen Dowager, in a foreign country she had barely begun to settle in, she was suddenly pushed into strict seclusion for 40 days while they waited to see if she was pregnant. She was not, but this was French custom. But while she waited, she made an escape plan. Mary had heard that Henry had plans to marry her off now to a Spanish prince, and was not having it. She'd married once to please her brother, and not again. Mary knew Charles Brandon would be among those sent to France to escort her home, and sought an ally in Francis, the new King of France. When Brandon arrived in Paris, Francis confronted him about his feelings for Mary. He admitted that he wanted to marry her, and Mary revealed her plans to join a nunnery to prevent her brother marrying her off again. Charles was conflicted, but Mary was insistent that she would only marry him, and eventually he agreed, though he knew his king and friend would be very upset at the turn of events. The couple wed in secret on the 3rd of March 1515, in the presence of just 10 people, among them the young King Francis. Mary Tudor did the unimaginable for most princesses. She married a man she chose. When Henry found out about the marriage, he was furious. This act of defiance was technically treason, as the two had defied the word of their king. However, Mary was his favourite sister, and Charles an old friend. Henry fined the couple, which he later reduced, and the couple was forgiven after a lot of grovelling. And they were then officially married on the 30th of May 1515 at Greenwich Palace. Mary was Brandon's third wife, and he had 2 daughters, Anne and Mary, by his second wife. Mary raised the girls alongside her own children, as their mother passed in 1511. And Mary and Charles had 4 of their own children, 2 boys and 2 girls: Henry Brandon, Lady Frances Brandon, Lady Eleanor Brandon, and Henry Brandon. Both of their sons, Henry and Henry, passed young. In the late 1520s, the relationship between Henry VIII and Mary was very strained. She was good friends with her sister-in-law Catherine of Aragon, and rejecting her brother's decision to remarry, Mary developed a strong dislike for Anne Boleyn, who'd been one of Mary's maid of honours when she was the Queen of France. However, despite the drama at court, Mary lived the remainder of her life content and happy. Mary's health began to fail, however, in 1533, and due to his duties, Charles Brandon was away when she died on June 24th of that year. Her funeral was a beautiful affair, though neither her brother or husband attended her funeral, and her death was greatly overshadowed by the birth of Henry and Anne Boleyn's child, a daughter, and the future Elizabeth I. But she was greatly mourned in Suffolk County, where she'd been a popular and respected figure, and by her children, one of which, Frances, had a daughter, Lady Jane Grey, who would one day be named Queen of England and known to history as the 9-Day Queen. Discover more historical figures and follow Brief Histories on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. And find out more at www.briefhistories.co.uk. Check out the other videos on this channel and see what you find. Hey there historians, thanks for watching. If you like that video, feel free to check out some of the others on this channel. Don't forget to head over to the website www.briefhistories.co.uk to check out all the timelines, family history and more. Thanks very much for watching this video guys, I hope you like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time.